As 2018 falls victim to a zombie apocalypse and London grinds to a halt, Tom and Bunny begin their journey north in a quest of safety and a proper cup of tea. Sounds like it could be a story from the snowstorm this week. Actually, it is a comedy play taking a look at Britain in a crisis, with women in the roles usually taken by men. After a run at the Assembly at the 2017 Edinburgh Fringe Festival, Tom and Bunny Save the World embarks on a UK tour starting in South London. I'm joined by three of the people behind it. Robyn Grant is the artistic director, James Boyd is in the show, and Kat Robey is the director of the show. Welcome all three. Let's start with you, Robyn. Tell us where the sort of kernel, where the idea for this whole tale came from.
So I've always loved zombies. I think they're really fascinating. There's a big sort of pop culture boom with them at the moment, with The Walking Dead and Generation Z and etc. So I was really interested in writing a zombie show with a bit of a difference. I come from Leeds. And it's always been my kind of zombie apocalypse plan that I would get there if an apocalypse struck. So that's where the idea came from, really. I think it's a really good way to explore current social problems, political issues, but in a really fun format. So yeah, it's sort of a Shaun of the Dead meets one's new musical.
I listen to you. I'm now worried I don't have a zombie apocalypse plan. Maybe I should. James, do you have a plan? Did you have a similar interest in zombies beforehand?
Yeah, I mean, zombies are great. I mean, this place is pretty fortified, I'd say. You know, lots of outdoors. Yeah, come to work. You know, they probably pay you still. You know,
we'll see.
It is London Live.
Well, you know, look, I can't make any promises.
Heading up the apocalypse with London Live.
Absolutely. So, and what about you, Kat? You're taking on the concept of zombies. Obviously, they're very popular, but you also want to push it in a new direction. Tell us where you take this show.
Yeah, so this show is sort of a combination of many different genres, I suppose. So it's very funny. It's got a lot of comedy in it, but it's also got quite a lot of politics in it as well. It's got a lot of music, so it's sort of a mashup of lots of different things. So the comedy looks at a lot of satire. It's a lot of female comedy, but then also it looks at some more serious things like the roles of women in British theatre and sort of how the balance needs to be readdressed. And in terms of zombie apocalypse, I mean, that's the fun part. We get to play.
So the role of women in British theatre, that was the point for you as when it came to gender equality, was it?
Yeah, it's one of the missions of our theatre company, Rascal Theatre, to create better and more interesting parts for women. And I think within the sci-fi and action genre, on stage and on film, it's often very stereotypicalised roles. So when we looked at a zombie apocalypse, we wanted to take the soldier and the doctor and like the leader and see what would happen if we put women in those roles and let the men take the back seat a little bit. So it's really interesting, I think, for all of our actors to have a go at portraying those very recognisable parts, but the other way around.
Was it a good one, James? Do you think that's something we should be aiming towards? Let the women.
No, yeah, well, it should be the norm.
It sounds fine by me.
Yeah, well, it's better when ladies take the reins. I much prefer being a good actor is supporting anybody, male, female. So that's the way it should be in theatre across the board.
Fantastic. Final question, Kat, for you on the music. Mm-hmm. Live score throughout. Tell us what people can expect.
Okay, so it's slightly. It's heightened, so it's very slightly melodramatic, it's very fun, it's quite big. You've got live folk guitar, and you have a cajon, which is sort of like a drum, a box drum, and everything else is done in harmony with the actors. So you get sort of 4 or 5 part harmonies from 6 actors with a drum, with a live guitar, which James plays. So it's just a great fun, and there are lots of earworms, so a lot of audience members come out singing along.
Kat, James, Robyn, thank you very much indeed for coming along. If you want to leave that singing along, you can see Tom and Bunny at the Clapham Omnibus Theatre next week before it goes to the Vaults Festival the following week, and then it goes on its UK tour.